Hey guys, this is Dan with Team Blind MST with Brian's Top 4 OTS Day Burning Abyss deck profile.
Alright guys, what's up? To start, the 3 tour guide, obvious, the play of the deck. Like, you want to always make sure this thing is as live as possible, because when it's not, you're probably not going to win. And then 3 Scarm, 3 Seer, and 3 Graph. Graph summons from the deck, Seer summons from the grave, and Scarm in the end phase searches you any of these cards, except for himself. None of them work on themselves. I bumped Seer up to 3 because I changed the deck around a little bit after seeing Jeff Jones' video. I took a few ideas from his, but I just needed more. Putting him back to 3 made him really good in the grind game, but it sucks opening him. Like, I opened him a few times yesterday at OTS Day, and it sucked. And then I bumped up Mathematician to 3 because I'm using a different engine, and still this is really good to open with because it can get you to tour guide next turn. Like, it's basically like Mathematician's basically the Rhoda because it gets you to Scarm, which is the Rhoda. Like, there's so many things that he can do, and then it makes your opponent overplay because they have to they don't want to attack into him because they don't want you to draw a free card. And then with him, I'm playing 2 Shaddoll Dragons. This is really, really good. It's basically an MST off of Mathematician. Like, it's just so easy. It makes Mathematician an easy out to Vanities, which is really important because everybody's playing a lot of Vanities. And he's really good to set on his own if you open with him. I didn't open both of them at any point during the tournament, but I bet it would suck. I sided him out a lot for when I suspected that my opponent would side in like Shadow Imprisoning, because then I just put in more MSTs and stuff, because obviously if they flip Shadow Imprisoning, he's basically useless anyway, so he doesn't get his effect off either when Dante mills him, because Dante mills for cost and he has to be set by a card effect, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, I only would side out 1 usually just because, like, I never side him out in the mirror match or against Shaddolls because neither of those 2 are going to play Shadow Imprisoning on me, so he'd still be viable.
Did you ever use him as a beat stick? 1900's pretty beefy.
Not in the tournament, I don't think. I've used him as a beat stick before, but I don't think in the tournament. He didn't see too much play in the tournament. What it was just like a random, like, I need to MST this. But he actually didn't come up too much in the tournament, but he was always there as an option. It was mostly just dumping of Mathematicians for, like, the Graph into Scarm, and Scarm killed itself to get Tour Guide just for that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think I set him once to bounce something, but no, never used him as a beat stick in the tournament as far as I can remember. The spells, I play triple Upstart just because it's easy to side out and it just makes the deck faster. Like, I didn't want to get brick hands of like Seers and shit, so I just played the triple Upstart, and I like it a lot. I always side it out, obviously, because it's free draw power that you can easily side out. And then I played 2 MST because I was playing the Dragon, which is like half searchable because you just don't like Mathematician can become an MST, so I didn't feel the need to play 3 MST, but I did still side the 3rd one, which I sided the 3rd MST in more than anything else all day. And then playing 1 rank up for 1 Allure and 1 Foolish. Allure just because I run mostly Darks, which is why I'm pretty sure I allured Dragon when I opened it, so that's also why it's not terrible to open with Dragon or have Dragon in the hand. Foolish, I think this is just too good to not run in this deck. It's at 1 for a reason. Like, this turns into anything in the deck. This is the most versatile card in the deck. This turns into a Rhoda, this turns into a Summon from Grave, a Summon from Deck, or a MST. Like, this card can just do pretty much anything the deck can do itself out of just 1 card. And rank up, I left 1 in there because I still played 1 Bram and 1 Pallades, but it never came up in the tournament. I milled it a few times, but it was never the play to add it back from the grave, and I never drew into it, so it's probably coming out for like Regeki or probably maybe Book of Moon if I want it to be more reactive, but I'm probably going to take this out for Regeki just because playing it at 1, it didn't do anything.
That sounds absurd, taking the card out for Regeki.
I mean, it's back.
Before you continue, never mind, continue.
Oh, what was your question?
I was going to say, since you're playing rank up, or you're not playing Supply Squad anymore, did you ever use their effects to special themselves?
Oh yeah, constantly.
For more OTKs or just more plays?
Not OTKs, just for more plays. I didn't OTK anybody today, but it was just for more plays. Like, it makes it so much more versatile when you don't have Supply Squad, which is smart. Like, I'm glad I took it out. Like, it was a free, like, it's a good card when you have a good hand, but it does suck when you have shit. Like, it doesn't get you anywhere. So, there's that. Traps, 3 Phoenix Wing, probably the best card in the deck. Like, this card's just stupid. Any deck that can play this is always top tier. I think the last time this deck saw a lot of play was
Dragons.
yeah, it's in play in Harpies, but Dragons more specifically. I played triple Karma Cut.
Oh man, that card's nasty.
It's also good, but it's no Phoenix Wing. I wish it was Phoenix Wing. I don't like Back to Square One because it's not a trap. Like Back to Square One is the spell version of Phoenix Wing, but it's not quick play either, so it's just like on your turn. So I didn't like it as much. The thing that does suck though is that with Phoenix Wing and Karma Cut Dragon does not get his effect because it's cost, but that's irrelevant. And then I'm playing triple Trap Stun. This is something I took from Jeff Jones along with the Shadal Dragon, like Trap Stun, like because I had a really bad time getting over. Like there were so many times where someone would just go Vanities on my tour guide and the duel was over, or Satella Knights in general is a hard deck for me to get over because of all that back row they play. Like I can sit there and grind through the back row every turn and they just set more. So Trap Stun just went so hard. I fucked myself with it once at the tournament because I Trap Stun, then I went to go use one of my side deck traps and it turned off, but it didn't matter. I still won the match. Like, but Trap Stun is too amazing. I played 2 Vanities just because it's Vanities. It's good with Trap Stun because you can turn off your own Vanities. You can turn off your own Vanities, make your play, and then your opponent has to play around your Vanities. Or even better, when your opponent has Vanities and you turn off their Vanities, make your play, and then your opponent has to play with their Vanities up, which is even more annoying for them because they have to neg themselves if they want to special summon. So it's good. I sided out decently. I actually sided out in the mirror match and against Shadal just because I didn't think it was that good because there's so many ways to get over it. I didn't think I wanted better.
Would you play 3? I know you said you set it out a lot, but
I might when I get to my last trap that is coming out. I might play the 3rd, but I don't like 3 Vanities because I think it clogs a little too much in my. It just personally it clogs every time I play. I tried at 3, but it might go in a minute. 2 Breakthrough, just obvious. I might play a 3rd of this actually. This was also good, but. It's good to mill. You mill it off Dante and then can use it on your turn for moral tax or something, which I didn't even see, but it's just good. And then I played the 1 Compulse and 1 Bottomless. This is for sure coming out because this was almost never useful. Like every time I had this, it never did anything of relevance. Like I think maybe I bottomless something twice and it wasn't like game changing. Like it just didn't do its job very well. Like this is definitely coming out. I was not a fan of it.
Did you miss the warning, or did you feel like you didn't need it?
No, it's not that I missed the warning. It's just bottomless wasn't the play because it was either mid. Like the only things I was scared of were windows or like another person's Dante. Really, like, or whenever they did have it, I just didn't have it. Like it was never. Whenever I had it or opened it and went first, it was useless. And when I didn't have it, it's when I needed it. Like, I just don't think it was that good. I'm probably taking it out. I might play either a 3rd Breakthrough or I might try a 3rd Vanities. I'm not sure yet because there's not really a trap I want to play. But Compulse did its job, but just Bottomless really underperformed. Bottomless and Rank Up were the only 2 things I would change with my build right now.
Extra deck?
Extra deck is 2 Dante, just obvious. Might bump it up to 3 because I'm changing the extra deck around. Like I'm not going to play the 2 Rank Up monsters anymore, so I'm going to have 2 extra spots. So he might go up to 3. Not sure yet. Probably. Giga Brilliant. I like this card. I just like it. Fortune Tune. I actually made him a few times just to gain life points or to recycle things. Like he's not bad at all. Can't target him. Nobody can target him. He's not bad.
I seen you make him in time against another Burning Abyss player, and it was pretty much game from there. He couldn't get over it. It
was game anyway because I was so up on life points and we were in time, and I had 2 Chain Disappearance set, but the Fortune Tune didn't make it any better for him. Like the Fortune Tune was just added. Granosaurus actually made this once today to get over. I was dueling Satella Knights round 1, and she had Castel and Altair up, so I think I killed the Castel with what's it called, Dante, or no, I think it might have been Omega. I killed the Dante. Either way, it was an Exceed that I killed with Dante, and then I killed the Altair with Granosaurus and did an extra 1,000 damage because I was down in life points. Zen mains never made it. I don't think I actually ever saw Shadow Imprisoning dropped on me at all though, but I would make him if Shadow Imprisoning got dropped on me. 10 Tempo, never made it. Acid Golem, surprisingly, even though I love this card a lot, I don't think I actually ever made it today. I feel like I didn't go into my extra deck much besides Dante's. Oh, and this guy, 2 Nightmare Shark. I really like this card a lot. I try to get the game state to where I can use him effectively, and I saw Jeff Jones play 2, and I had actually thought about playing 2, so I was like, well, that decides I'm definitely going to play 2 because like I'll make this thing just to make it, just to get free damage in, and like usually they'll have just one. I'll be one attack short of winning, so definitely playing just in case.
You ever have about like 4 back row and you're just like, oh, I can poke with this shark a couple times?
Pretty much. Or sometimes when people just settle on, I'm like, I don't know what they're playing, and I don't want to walk into anything stupid, so I'm just gonna attack free for 2,000. I don't know. I like Nightmare Shark a lot. I make him probably. Oh, I overmake him a lot probably. 2 Alucard. It's good for popping back row. I think I made him once and he got bottomless or he got breakthrough or something. He didn't. I used him once and I don't think he went through, but you don't want him just to have him, and they recycle each other if you have one engrave. And then I played 1 Downer Magician, and I finally figured out why Jeff Jones played 3, and now I understand why. Because when you make Downer Magician over Dante, you always want to make it over Dante because Castell, Compulse, Phoenix Wing, and Karma Cut, those are all real things to stop Dante, and you want to make sure Dante's effect goes off when he hits the grave. So if you make Downer Magician over Dante, and they go to Compulse her or Warning or what is it? Phoenix Wing and
anything that would remove him from the field and not send him to graveyard.
Yeah, he would still get his effect off because Downer Magician leaves, but he goes to grave because he's material. So I'm probably gonna bump this up to 2. I'll probably bump this up to actually maybe whatever. No, I'll probably just put it at 2. And then Bram and Pallades, and like I said, I never made either of them, so rank up in these 2 are coming out. So probably another Dante and probably Downer Magician. If I can pick them up.
Side deck?
Side deck was 3 Force Back because I like it against Zatala Knights because they go to summon and it negates their summon. They don't get the effect. They can't alpha it, and it puts it back in their hand, so they're back a turn, so they can't. It becomes less likely that they can Extinction Knight you because now they're gonna have an extra card still. So
it's not a bad option because you can't really. You could afford to run Light Imprisonings, but it's not optimal.
Dante's always the play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't like Light Imprisoning, but no, I also don't like Stygian Dirge that much. I just like this. I like just stopping someone for a turn. I don't necessarily like having floodgates on the field for too long in this deck, but it's not. I like it. I never drew it. I only dueled Satella Knights once. I never drew it. But it's good against Rogue too. Like stopping Boojins from normal summoning Yamato for if you open with it. So that's why I said 3 because you want to open it. 3 Chain Disappearance. This went hard in my Burning Abyss mirror match with it was somebody from Voltage, Jeff Jones' shop, and it was his
I think his name was Paul.
Yeah, his name was Paul. It was one of his buddies. He had like Jeff Jones' exact build. He said there were 2 cards different with him. One was he was playing Tempo and he was playing Foolish Burial. And this went hard against him in game 3. I think he went Tour Guide, and I was going to Chain Disappearance it, and I didn't want to because he only had like 1 Tour Guide left, so I was like, it didn't seem optimal. So I was going to Tour Guide whatever. I was going to Chain Disappearance whatever he summoned off Tour Guide, but he summoned Seer, and Seer had too much attack. So then he made Dante, and I Chain Disappearance to Dante, and he lost he lost all 3 copies of his Dante from the extra deck too. And then the Seer went to grave, and he went Seer's effect to summon Scarm, and I had the second Chain Disappearance set, so I Chain Disappearance the Scarm, and after that the duel was over.
You want to explain the mirror match if you Chain Disappearance your own Tour Guide?
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot of people know about that.
Because Chain Disappearance it says when a monster with 1,000 or less attack is summoned, you can activate it. So whoever summons it, you can activate it, and then you lose that copy. But then it only says your opponent loses all the other copies from the hand and deck. So if I Chain Disappearance my own Tour Guide, my Tour Guide's effect still goes through, and I lose that Tour Guide. So I lose the Exceed play for the turn, probably. But they lose all 3 copies of Tour Guide if I went first or something, or they just haven't used Tour Guide yet. So it's really good. I tried doing that, but I trap stunned myself that turn. I went Tour Guide. I just negged myself really bad, but I still won that duel just because I was still winning anyway. I just wanted to do it for incentive.
That's a very good play.
I felt stupid, but... And then 2 creature swap because for Boojins and Noble Knights, just because I have a really weird fear of them. I don't know. It didn't get side in, but I still like to have it in there just in case. I don't want Noble Knights to go Artorias with 5 back row on it and I just lose because they open the nuts. Then I played 3 Defusion, probably one of the best side decks and cards I had. It just went so hard against my Shadal matchup in round 4. When I started drawing him, it was over. Like I just kept defusioning all of his windows and constructs, and he just couldn't do anything. Like he just lost free advantage. I just compulsed him, and it was just too much. Really good. I would suggest anybody play these against the Jadal matchup. It's so easy. Like it's just easy. 1 MST. It came winning almost always because I just felt like they were siding floodgates against me. And then 1 DV Crow. This is the one thing I wish I played more of because it's good for DD Crowing the Shadal, the Shadal Fusion, and I used it on the Satellanite player. I think I opened it. It's a target for a lure because it's a dark. So if you have it in your hand, you kind of lure with it. And it was a what was it? I used it a few other times in a few of my matchups. Like it goes unexpectedly hard when you don't realize it. And then last two Maxi. I'm gonna bump this up to 3. Honestly, like Maxi went really hard in the mirror match, and even against Shadals, it turned into upstarts or even more because they go Falco and Falco just summons, and if they want a Shadal fusion that turn, because usually I saw a lot of people I played 2 Shadals and they were going Falco to set another Shadal, and then they were using the Falco and that Shadal as fusion material, so it made it easier to get free draws with Maxi. That's the deck. I took second, then we went to cut, but I lost the Shadal player in the top 4 cut, so I got it's still top 4, so yeah.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Leave any comments or questions and we'll be sure to respond. Thanks.